Are you staring at the blinking cursor on your laptop, not sure how to get started on your statement of purpose? In this video, I work with a student in that exact position, and in under 10 minutes, I help her draft an outline to write her statement of purpose. I've helped more than 500 people apply to grad school, and this outline is something you can borrow and download in the link below. Check the links in the description for how you can get help from me on your grad school application. Let's dive in. I started by asking the student, what happened in your life that made you want to do this master's?
My personal story is regarding cholestasis in pregnancy. So my draft, I actually started it by saying that the staff nurse couldn't find the heartbeat of my baby, and she actually rushed out to call the doctor on duty. And then I was rushed to an emergency C-section, and my baby was delivered at 35 weeks, but he was in good health. But I do know that this is not the same trajectory for all moms, especially in my country. I come from Southeast Asia, and especially in my country, my delivery happened in the States. I had the utmost healthcare and everything. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to help mothers in my country get diagnosed and proper monitoring during pregnancy so that these diagnoses don't fall through.
Your story is a perfect one in terms of what happened to you and that shifting the trajectory of wanting to move from being a doctor, a clinician, to actually wanting to focus on maternal health. I'm gonna open a Google Doc and we can write out an outline. So I think you can start with your personal story. And just like exactly like you told me, just kind of go into the story. And then you can say like, I was in the US, access to top care, whatever it was that you had that made your outcomes fortunate, like list those out because those are all important to public health. And then you can go into the shift, and just talk about what the circumstances are around maternal and child health. And then you can say, I like to think of this as like a conclusion. I call these like a thesis statement. Something like this. Like, I'm just kind of giving you some words to play with. This is something that I think applies to most people. This is the general structure I give for people, is an intro paragraph and then kind of your background experiences. This is the basic structure I give for a statement of purpose. There is an intro paragraph that needs to summarize what you are applying for and why. In this intro, you need to get specific on what aspect of the field you are interested in. As you can see in this example, this person goes beyond stating that they want to get a master's in public health, and they get specific in stating they are interested in improving maternal and child health outcomes in low-income countries. This can start with a story if you have relevant experience that speaks to why you are interested in this career field. Check out my upcoming video on using storytelling and the do's and don'ts. In the next section, you want to describe your relevant background and experiences that led you to being ready to apply for this degree. The point here isn't to rehash your resume, but to pick out a few key projects or experiences that show you will be successful in this program. This can be from undergrad, jobs, internships, research experiences, or even volunteer work. The key is to demonstrate that you have the necessary skills to be successful in the program. If you don't have direct experience in the field, that's okay. Instead, describe experiences with transferable skills to the program like leadership, research, writing, strong communication, etc. In the next section, you want to go into describing why this university and why this program and what you want to do during grad school. This is one of the most underlooked sections of the SOP. I see many people completely leave out this section or write something generic. This section is critical to making a case for why the university is a good fit for what you want to do. You want to get specific with discussing what the program offers in terms of courses, research or job opportunities, professors you want to learn from, etc. You can summarize your research and/or career interests and how the university will help you achieve the outcomes you want to achieve in your career. Finally, in the conclusion, summarize where you've come from and how the program will help you get to where you want to go. Get the admissions committee excited for your journey so that they want to root for you. Okay, so I'm giving you some prompts for each of these kinds of sections of the essay to help you kind of build this out. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste this paragraph you shared in this Google Doc. This is great. This is exactly like what I was talking about here for this part on the personal story. I would probably have you shorten it a little bit. So you can just start out with saying, instead of saying I vividly remember, you can just start with this. I think here you can get more specific, like talk about where you're from, talk about what the maternal health outcomes are like there. Remember to pick the experiences that are relevant to the program you're applying to.
Yes, I want to mention something here. Sorry for interrupting. While I was a second year student, I started working on this health-related website, which later became an app as well. So it's doing great now, but I've stopped working when I was about to give my final year board exams. I stopped working there. But that was actually more relevant. That's a naturally more relevant work experience relating to my immediate goal or what the population I want to work in. What I'm doing right now, I think this is, I don't know, more valuable or more regarded as, I don't know, this is a higher position. How should I go back to, I don't want to start talking about my work experience with that student, with the work experience that I had as a student. So should I go back to it after the second paragraph?
Yeah.
Where should I start talking about it?
So that would be section 2, background experiences that show you, that show how you got to wanting to do this program and show your relevant skills. So I would say like experience 1, okay, and then you would have experience number 2. So I think that can be the background, and these are kind of the questions I put in for you, and you can think about these as you go into describing these 2 experiences, and then you want to get in specific about the university. So what about the university? What do you want to do while you're in grad school? And then what are your research interests, courses you want to take, activities you want to participate in? And then what resources does the program offer that make it a good place for you to do those things? So you can talk about courses that they have. Do they have specific MPH programs for doctors? What is their maternal health program look like? Are you able to maybe combine courses across, different specialties?
I have one question. I have a few more months. The applications open in October. So should I generating a questionnaire and testing the water for in how many cases generalized itching, which is the primary symptom of cholestasis, is being diagnosed by the doctors? So should I generate a questionnaire and test the water in some maybe online? Or should that be helpful, or should that add anything to my SOP?
You have a lot of experience. And so if you were someone who was like straight out of undergrad, didn't have that much experience, I would say do that so you have something more to talk about in your SOP, but you have lots of great experience. So I don't think you need to do that. But that idea, you can talk about how you want to do that in grad school. Most universities have some sort of capstone project or thesis project where you propose your own thing like that. And most people in an SOP for a master's program do not get that specific about what they want to do for their capstone because they just don't know yet. But since you it's very clear, you know what you want to do and you have like the research skills to take that on. So in this section, so you can get into the specifics of what you want to do for your research, whether it's cross-sectional study, whether it's surveying, healthcare providers, whatever it is. And then you can just wrap that all up in a conclusion about shifting from being a clinician to now wanting to be a doctor in the public health field that makes maternal healthcare more accessible to women in your country. If you want help on your grad school application, check out the resources in the links in the description. Additionally, I have free office hours that happen on Zoom once a month, and I have some upcoming workshops where we actually work on writing your statement of purpose.